these tubes are these things called alveoli. Alveoli. And on those alveoli are capillaries. Capillaries are part of what system?
Cardiovascular.
Yeah, your cardiovascular system. So what system works with your respiratory system?
Your cardiovascular.
Your cardiovascular system. Okay.
Oh, I like cardiovascular.
All right, let's talk about some of the things that you should know, or some of the organs that go with your respiratory system. First things first, you've got a nice little diagram over here: nose, mouth, larynx, trachea, lungs, bronchial tubes, diaphragm, alveoli. Okay. Your larynx is your voice box. It causes the vibrations that make your voice, right? You've got your trachea or your windpipe. The reason why they call it your windpipe is because that's where the gas you breathe in goes and the gas you breathe out comes. Then you've got your bronchial tubes. The bronchial tubes are the ones that branch off of your windpipe into your lungs. You've got two lungs on each side. And inside of those lungs, at the end of the bronchial tubes, or at the end of all those tubes, are alveoli. Okay? Now, one of the most important parts of your respiratory system is your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is a muscle at the bottom of your lungs.
Doesn't the alveoli like hold like a disease, but it's very dormant?
No.
I thought it did.
No. Everybody has alveoli in their lungs.
Yeah. I thought like it holds, like everyone has alveoli. Yeah.
There are diseases that affect your alveoli. Yes.
Oh, I just thought.
But not everybody has a disease.
Oh.
Okay. So these are the organs: the larynx, trachea, bronchial tube, lungs, alveoli, diaphragm. Again, the diaphragm is really important because it's the muscle at the bottom of your lungs, and we'll talk about what the diaphragm actually does for your respiratory system in a second. Now, most of the time you do this without thinking, but we're going to talk about exactly what happens when you breathe in and when you breathe out, and where it goes, and all that jazz. Okay? All right, so for the respiratory system, air travels from your mouth or nose through your larynx or voice box, down your trachea or windpipe, and then into your bronchial tubes, where it splits the windpipe in half, right? So where it goes into each of your lungs. So when you breathe in what? Air. Air around you is comprised or made up of, the air around you is made up of oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and other stuff. Okay?
Yes, sir.
What is the thing that you need out of the air that you breathe in?
Carbon dioxide. I know you breathe out.
Oxygen.
You need the oxygen. Okay? So the exchange is oxygen is what you're trying to get. So when you breathe in, the most important part of the air you breathe in is the oxygen part. All right, so you've breathed it in. It's in your lungs now. At the end of the bronchial branches, there are millions of alveoli, or alveoli. Kind of rhymes with ravioli, but they're not anything like each other. On the alveoli, there are tons of tiny blood vessels called what?
Wait.
What are those little tiny blood vessels called?
Veins.
Mm-hmm.
They're not?
Not these ones.
These are.
Blood vessels?
They're tiny. They're the smallest blood vessels in your body. They're called.
It's something with like C. Oh yeah.
Does start with a C.
I remembered it as like communism. I don't know why I remembered something as
Capillaries.
No.
They're called capillaries.
Communism.
So all over your alveoli, you can see in the picture in the top right corner, are these capillaries. And this is where the exchange of gas happens. is in your alveoli, or these gas sacs. Okay?
That looks weird. Looks like a
It
brain.
does. These sacs is where the gas exchange happens. Okay? The small blood vessels or capillaries are where the exchange happens. It exchanges what? What is it trying to get rid of?
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon
Carbon
dioxide.
dioxide. So your blood brings the carbon dioxide filled blood to your lungs, and then it exchanges that carbon dioxide for what?
Okay.
Oxygen. So you've got oxygen and carbon dioxide. Those are the gases that are exchanged.
Wait, hold on. Listen.
Now it's kind of weird that we breathe oxygen and not nitrogen because there's actually more nitrogen in the air than oxygen. I think it's tables 1 and 3 and 6, right? Haven't gone yet. You guys can go.
Oh, God.
All right, now I will say that one of the most important parts of your respiratory system is the big muscle at the bottom of your lungs called the diaphragm. Okay?
Where do we go? Down there, right?
So there's the diaphragm at the bottom of your lungs. Okay? What system are the capillaries a part of? Circulatory or cardiovascular. Okay, so we know that the circulatory system and the respiratory system work together. All right, so this is a diagram or a model of how your lungs work. So this straw would represent what part? Your mouth would be the end of the straw. What about the straw itself? Use the words that we know.
The water.
Larynx? It would be part of the larynx, and then the one that I'm trying to get at is the trachea. Trachea or windpipe. All right, what's the balloon?
What's your one?
It's your lung. What's this bag at the bottom? It's the muscle at the bottom. It's the muscle at the bottom of your lungs. Your diaphragm. So here's how it works. Your diaphragm contracts and relaxes. Okay? Your diaphragm contracts and relaxes. It's a large muscle at the bottom of your lungs that contracts and relaxes. If you inhale, your diaphragm is contracting. If you exhale, your diaphragm is relaxing. And here's an example of how it works. You ready? All right, I am inhaling. What do you notice about the balloon? It's bigger. I am exhaling. It's smaller, right? Contracting and relaxing. There you go. That's what's happening in your side of you. The diaphragm contracts and relaxes.
How long did it take to make that?
Not very. Contracting and relaxing. It even shoots some out.
Wow, there's another people in there. I like it like this. This is basically how it was at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
I was honestly hoping that this class would be completely empty and I would only be like 5 people the whole year.
Hey, all fans, stay over there.
Huh? Take all your stuff. Be over there. We like it over here. Why? Because
We put on a message recording.
yeah.
All right, so we're talking about the diaphragm.
It's like
And here's how your diaphragm works.
oh, dang. Is that
Okay,
a balloon?
here's how your respiratory system works. What do you think this is?
Your
Your throat, or give me some science. Your trachea. Okay.
Oh.
What do you think the balloon is?
Your lungs.
What do you think this bag is?
The alveoli.
Not the alveoli.
Bottom thing. Where's
The bottom thing.
the diaphragm?
Your diaphragm. Okay. Contract, relax. Contract. Or actually the other way around. Contract, relax, contract. Notice the balloon.
Oh yeah, how does that work? It's a balloon.
Oh, I'm sure you saw it, but
It's a balloon.
contract, relax.
Contract
Once you get your out, if I went like this, you would feel it. Gets air in. When it relaxes, you exhale. The functions of your lungs is 1, to inhale oxygen, 2, exhale carbon dioxide. Okay? Inhale oxygen, exhale carbon dioxide. Inhale oxygen, exhale carbon dioxide. So it's all about the exchange of gases. And that's the end of your notes. Now, after your notes, there is a website that has your diagram on it, okay?